Is this happening to you? Don't worry, I've got you. Alright, so how do we stop mashes? We need to employ a technique called the Meaty. And essentially the way this works is that when the opponent's getting off the floor, and if they're pressing buttons or throwing, for example, you'll be able to counter hit them out of this. It takes a bit of timing, so you have to get in the practice mode and figure this out. The best way to kind of practice this is to go up and throw the opponent, and then literally just time the punish. Obviously, if you're too slow, you'll get counter hit. If you're do it right, then you'll literally get the counter. And this can be done with any of his I'm using Gran, for example. This you don't have any of his buttons, so you can walk up and you can do the medium attack, or you can walk up and do the heavy one. Obviously, the heavy one lets you the best counter hit, which means you get the best combo from it. So yeah, it really just depends on what you're doing. I honestly advise when you're doing a Meaty, get used to using close light. And the reason I recommend doing close light is because you'll be able to do strike flow. Because this move, because close light is +4, you're able to do your strike flow, which is obviously you either press light and then grab, or you press light and then you go for a strike. And then that should be like your general game plan, especially when you're playing a Gran, for example. So that's one way to kind of deal with mashes, especially like on wake up and stuff like that. Is you got to time it correctly, and this can be done anywhere on the screen. It doesn't matter. Obviously, if they're here, you have to run up, so you can still do it there and get your full combo. So yeah, that's the Meaty technique, and you know, just to show it can be done with any button. You can easily do it with this one. You know, it really is just all about timing and stuff like that. This is to deal with opponents that are mashing on wake up. And I also wanted to show this can be done after like normal combos and stuff like that as well. Like it usually depends on how you end the knockdown and stuff like that. So obviously if you have a better knockdown, you've got better frame advantage, so your Meaty is more reliant. So for example, after Super, I'll show you with Gran. You could just walk up and time it and do the exact same thing you were doing, say after a throw. And this also applies for like this one as well, like his sweep. It's, every sweep, every throw, and every super in the game's a hard knockdown. So it'd be easy to Meaty off of those moves, instead of, say, for example, if you do like a normal combo. It's a lot harder to kind of get your Meaty off and stuff like that, because a lot of hard knockdowns in this game are kind of removed from the vanilla version of the game. So yeah, knowing what gives you a hard knockdown will really help with the Meaties and stuff like that. So the easiest way to tell in a match, just in case you haven't done it in training mode, if you've got a hard knockdown, is if you do a sweep, for example, and it says down on the screen, then you know that that is a hard knockdown, and that goes the same for like the throw and stuff like that. See, it like comes up in the corner, and obviously if you do a combo, they'll get recovery instead. So you can't recover from these moves as well, which is why it's easy to get Meaty and stuff like that. So like if you know that you're a pro, so if you know that this, for example, they can recover from it, like while you're still +17, and you could probably go for like a 6-6L in this situation and frame trap them that way, you're not getting Meaty in the same way that you would be from like a hard knockdown. So it's more about like knowing. But it's considerably harder to do, but it's still worth trying. That's if you really want to continue asserting your pressure after them sort of moves, then the 6-6L is a good way to do it. But you got to check the frame data, and I'll get into the frame data next. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go over is plus frames. Understanding what your character can do that's plus is important to structuring an offense, to stopping people from mashing. Because if you know you're plus, then the opponent won't be able to press buttons after. If you don't know how plus frames work, it essentially just means if they've blocked this is close light, that's +4, it says in the top left screen, corner of the screen. That means that it's still your turn. And every character in the game universally has their own plus frames. Some are just different in variation. Like for example, I think Fairy's close L is 2, +2 for example, instead of +4. I think. So that's a good example. But also, the far L is also a plus move, it's +1. Which is why like this sequence is so obnoxious and a lot of people struggle to deal with it. and then getting onto 66L. Every character 66L in the game is plus. So it's another way to assert plus frames. And then some characters just have their own plus frames on different moves. So Gran has a rare one, which is his crouching medium is +1. So that's also really good for like establishing plus frames and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not got the best range, but it can still you can still hit it from a fairly decent. But this one thing that's unique to Gran. A few characters have it, and also most EX moves in the game, or one of them, will likely have a plus frame attached to it. Not all of them, but Gran's is his projectile. If you do his projectile and pressure, you are +3. So understanding your frame data for your characters is very important to kind of establishing the pressure, because it will set up the next thing I'm trying to explain, which will be frame traps. Just another thing I quickly wanted to add, just because I felt like it might be important to say. If you don't know how to turn on frame data, just in case you're completely unaware, you literally press start, go into the menu, you go to display, and you go down to this one, and it's frame data. And you just, you can do, there's like 3 options. You can hide it, show your own, or show both. I do both, it's not necessary, but there you go. So that's how you put on frame data. Alright, so the next thing we're going to learn is how to frame trap, and basically the way frame traps work is you're leaving a gap between 2 moves, which will basically catch and mashing opponents. They won't be able to do anything about it except for invincible reversal. That's their only option to deal with a frame trap. So learning the frame data we just learned, it makes frame trapping much easier. So now we know that our close light is +4. We know that it's our turn before theirs, so we know we're going to win any button interactions. So what you should do is press close light and then go into close medium. And then by doing this, you can get pretty sizable damage depending on how many resources you're willing to spend and stuff like that. So that is actually just a basic frame trap with Gran, and that was literally just mid-screen. So the power that this kind of has is it's very good to establish it if you don't know what you're doing and stuff like that, to deal with opponents that keep pressing buttons. And it doesn't actually always have to be into close light. You can also go into close heavy, and you'll obviously get more damage if you work out a combo like that. So it still depends on kind of what you want to do. I'd say using close heavy in the corner is a much better idea, and then I'd say medium is probably better in the mid-screen and stuff like that. Obviously, I was saying earlier how Gran has a really unique crouching medium and stuff like that, and you can use that to frame trap as well, because it's plus. It comes out before anything they can press now. See? And you see a lot of Grans go up online and they might start doing this. And that's because they want to catch you out for doing that. So that's another frame trap. You're just going plus frame into plus frame. And you see in this situation, if they've mashed, you're +9. And obviously, Gran has his EX move, which is another way to, I was going to say, frame trap. So you can go into a full string, and you can get a frame trap that way, because you're +3. Obviously, you can't run up and go do your light attack, because you're just going to get punched in the face. So it makes far medium is the best option in this situation, because it will catch out buttons and stuff like that. It's the furthest you can kind of reach. Okay, and 66L, it works exactly the same way as it does with close light into close medium. You just do 66L into close medium. You just get your combo that way. So you can just do the exact same thing. It doesn't matter, like, you know, just literally 66L, go into close medium. You can do it into close heavy as well. You know, nothing changes there. It's the exact same process. So just as long as you understand when you're plus, it is your turn to press buttons and not the opponent's. If they are pressing buttons or trying to throw you, you are going to win. That's how the frame trap works. Also, just a quick side note for this, when you're doing it, you can get thrown sometimes if you delay the close L to the close medium or close heavy too much. For example, if I just delay this too much, yeah, I'm like in throw range, so I can get grabbed. And sometimes even if you're too slow, you can get no escape throw, which means like they're getting you while you're in the middle of an active frame. It's more common if you do it in the heavy, so just be aware of that. You really need to go in the training mode and like practice the timing and get it down. Because that is something that K can catch you out for. Alright, so the next thing we're going to cover is the opponent's going to stop mashing now, but a lot of these opponents, who mash a lot, they will try anything to get out of pressure anyway, so the next thing they'll probably start turning to is invincible reversal. So if they start to wisen up, they'll know that in between this and this is a gap, and then they'll do a DP and blow you up for it. Obviously DPs in this game aren't that hard to do, so it's very easy for the opponent to get away with it. They don't have to do the traditional DP input. They can just press forward and special attack. So the best way to kind of deal with this is literally just to do the exact same thing you have been doing, but then just wait. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to tell. You have to kind of read the opponent's going to do it, and you know, you might be giving up your turn sometimes, but you know, it's absolutely fine. You know, you're showing them that, you know, DPing is not a good idea. You will check them every now and then just go back to doing the close light into close slash again. So that's how to deal with DPs in a block string. It's obviously the same thing with 66L. You don't actually have to commit to it. And this one here, anything, just make sure you do it. Don't always press. If you're just pressing your offense all the time, it's very easy for the opponent to basically take advantage of you for that. You sometimes need to relax a little bit. Maybe do that, walk back a little bit. You know, so if they do try and throw you, for example, you are walking away from them, and then you can just go for their feet. So that's how you kind of deal with a DP in a block string. Before I get on to the final point, I really wanted to hammer home how important it is to have a punish for the DP, because then if you're doing what I'm about to show you now to the opponent, the chances of them doing a DP again are very, very unlikely. I mean, some opponents won't ever change, but if they are starting to use that noggin, like, they really will stop after this. I'll show you an example. So that's like 60% of their health, both their bravery points, so they're now on their health debuff, and they're also in a hard knockdown. And that was just all because you baited a DP. So it's very important that you have a DP punish to hand. Obviously in the mid screen it might be a little bit worse. But even still, like, it's still worth doing it. Okay, and just to come back round to my original point about wake-ups, but obviously not every opponent will mash on wake-up. Some opponents will do their invincible reversals or their supers on wake-up. So there is a way to kind of deal with this, and I'll cover that now quickly. It's a technique called a safe jump, and if you don't know how it works, I'll show you. And basically what happened there was, just due to the throw having such high block stun when they're on the ground, because it's a hard knockdown, you've got enough time to jump and then do a falling attack. Sometimes it's best to see what the best move is your character can do, like Gran's one seems to be either as unique or as heavy. But you fall down, and because there's so much time, you have enough time to block the move. So you literally do this, you do your falling move, and then you hold back to block. And then if the opponent does an invincible reversal, it will catch them out because you'll block it, and then you'll be able to go for your full punish that way. So that's another way of dealing with the move on wake up. Now, one thing that's really great about the safe jump is it doesn't matter. If they decide that they're not going to invincible reversal, but they're going to try punish you on the way down, say with an anti-air like the 2H or something like that. You get a full combo punish. So if they try and do a move like an anti-air, they'll get punished. If they try and do an invincible reversal, you can block. You have to go in the training mode and figure this out. Like basically set them to wake up DP and set them to do an anti-air or a light attack, for example, and you'll see how it works. So you fall down and you hold back. That's literally how it works. It's just literally fall down, attack, hold, and if they do the invincible reversal and you're holding back, you'll block. Or if they press a button, they'll get counter hit. And the same works for throws. Alright, and then a final thing I wanted to add on, because I just thought about it at the end. This isn't something you see very common all the time at lower ranks of play. As you move higher up the rank tree, it will start to come up a little bit. So the opponent might notice you're safe jumping them, and then they'll wait, and then they'll DP after you've landed and you start to like go for your pressure. So for example, like this, so you go down, they block, and then after you've hit them, that's when they'll start doing that. And that literally comes back around to what we were saying about waiting in the middle of the screen when they're trying to DP through your box strings. You literally just have to do the exact same thing you were doing back then. So literally do this, do that, block. And because when you come down and like hit them on the top of the head when they block it, and then you go into your close light, that is what we're saying about a true block string. So it's true, there's nothing they can do to get through it. So then you just hit them with that, then you walk back. Walking back will sort out throws. Then you can, like in my other videos going about baiting throws, then you can do a throw bait. If they're doing an invincible reversal, you'll block it. So it's all about like kind of being able to read your opponent and what they may or may not do. Right off the bat, if they are playing reckless as hell, I've got caught out by this so many times. Do not think that even for 1 minute or 1 second that they will not play reckless anymore. I have lost games countless amount of times because opponents who I thought I conditioned had not been conditioned, and they basically just blow me up, and then I lost the game because all I had to do was literally just do this and then wait. And instead of waiting, I just try and assert my pressure and stuff like that and go in for a frame trap, and then I would just get blown up for it. So if that's just my experience. So if someone's playing, they're DPing every single time, you know, they're supering, they are mashing, just assume they're gonna do it. Like, just trust me. Anyway, alright, so that covers this guide. This video's turned out a little bit longer than my other videos that I've done on subjects, but I had a lot more to talk about. Every time I did another bit, I thought of something else that would come under an opponent who would be reckless and mashing, and in the end this is the format it's come out in. If you prefer this format, let me know in the comments below, or just leave a like on the video if you like the format I've set up and stuff, or if you like the original one, let me know in the comments and I will try and do more like my original videos in the past. But for this one specifically, I wanted to try something different and expand on my points a little bit more, maybe go into a little bit more description on how you can or cannot deal with anything. As always, I hope it has helped you and helps you get up the ranks and stuff like that. This game I find is a bit easier to learn than other fighting games, so but there's all these fundamentals and stuff which, while they're in the game, you have to like go through it, read it and stuff, so it's nice to have it kind of condensed into a guide, I find, because even I go back and I look at some of the guides I've made and I will use that information. But anyway, I'm rambling now. But yeah, if you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because it helps everything grow. Let me know what else you'd like in the future. I was considering doing a deeper look on like how to have better defense next, so if that's something you'd like to see, let me know. Or if there's anything else, just let me know. But I'll probably do that next. But yeah, anyway, till the next time, pigs, take care.